I said, there is no way we are going to this event now. There's a 0% chance. First and foremost, why are you saying invite? Anybody can go to it. You just buy a ticket to the event, and you're all working to try to get me to confirm that I'm going. And you're doing this as if you're trying to like push my buttons and be like, we got to make her get into her ego so she like shows up and like posts it on social media. Nope, actually, while I'm attacking the feds, maybe not going to a public event, which the feds are organizing, is probably a very good idea. I'm good. You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna listen to Power on my headphones and go see Ye. How's that for a memorial for Charlie Kirk? That feels like the right thing for me to do right now.
People didn't take long to start doubting the official line. The story just didn't hold together once you looked closely. For one thing, the suspect's grandmother insisted he wasn't the kind of person who would pull a trigger or have a reason to harm Charlie. She told anyone who'd listen that he'd never used a firearm, didn't hunt, didn't own guns, and that watching him grow up made the idea of him committing such violence impossible to accept. She also pointed out the family's politics. My son, his dad is a Republican for Trump, she said, as if to underline how strange the narrative felt to those who knew him. Things got even murkier when the feds released a set of texts, allegedly exchanged between Tyler and his roommate. The messages, supposedly containing an explicit confession, read as if they had been manufactured. They neatly supplied investigators with every detail needed to make the case. An admission of killing Charlie, a claim about engraving bullets, and even the precise place the weapon was left. To a lot of people, the timing and polish of those messages felt too convenient to be genuine. Because of those contradictions, the grandmother's vehement denial, the questionable texts, the gaps in the official explanation, public skepticism grew. People began to wonder whether Candace's doubts might actually be on the mark. The numbers and the narrative simply weren't adding up for many observers. That's when Jaguar Wright stepped forward with her own take. On her podcast, she amplified Candace's suspicions, arguing that the government wasn't withholding information to preserve the integrity of an investigation, but rather to shield powerful individuals who might have some connection to Charlie's death. Her intervention stirred the pot further, turning private doubts into a louder public debate.
We're not getting all the information. It's clear something's off here. The first person, the old man, I don't even know why he was grabbed, but he was grabbed and his picture was fondled out. And then there was someone else who was a person of interest, and that didn't work. And then we got this guy. He had a bulletproof vest that might have caught the exit. Really? That's interesting. That's definitely an interesting point of view. But what kind of bulletproof vests are you talking about? Because usually bulletproof vests, they cover your front, they cover your back. There's points of vulnerability on the sides usually. I haven't seen too many. I mean, was he wearing like hardcore Kevlar? Like fully body casted? That's wild. Nobody mentioned that yet. Military grade. He was wearing military grade. I don't know. It's funny. Seems like they might have mentioned that.
But the conversation didn't end there. On that same episode, Jaguar invited a guest who added an entirely new layer to the discussion. This guest highlighted details that many felt had been overlooked, connections that pointed less toward a lone suspect and more toward a larger web of influence. Their perspective didn't just echo Jaguar's concerns. It sharpened them, leaving listeners with the sense that the pieces of the puzzle were being deliberate.
I don't want to even get into the whole thing with the GUN being dismantled, the guy jumping off of the roof without the, weapon. This whole thing looks fishy. And that's why I said, I always say this, I'd rather get all the information first, then make a comment. But yeah, It's just real fishy. Of course. They say
we have a right to question the validity of it. And it's got to pass the smell test. There's something wrong with all of this. And everyone is starting to pick it out piece by piece, thread by thread. Everyone is starting to see something's wrong here. The question is,
if Jaguar and Candace are right and federal agents are bending over backwards to shield billionaires, then we're not just looking at a murky cover-up. We're staring at something seriously dangerous. But what do you think? Is there a deeper conspiracy at work, or are Candace and Jaguar overstating the case? Sound off in the comments with your take, and don't forget to watch the next video.